Welcome to the Safe Wheel live stream where I share my P&L on 3 accounts and teach my proprietary Safe Wheel options trade for free. And the system is currently underperforming a little bit, down about 3.5% year to date. So let's get to the first thing here. I do trade 3 systems. One of them is the earnings edge. And last week, good luck on audio today. And last week, thanks, Will, none of the stocks fit through the filter. There were plenty of stocks to choose from that were coming into earnings, but none of them fit through the filter. So there was no trade last week. Current record with the earnings edge is 28 wins, 16 losses, and 6 break evens. And since I started the new exit criteria, my record is 7, 8, and 3. This year, haven't done quite as well. My average loss is $421, average gain $885. So we're looking for that large gain. And this year we haven't got the large gain. Last year we were up 63%, about 28% when you add in the costs of being in the alerts. So, did pretty good. And then this year we're down about 27%. So we're down pretty good, but that's what you can expect with a system like this. You're going to see a lot of volatility, and we are looking for that 1 or 2 big hit. So we're basically kind of looking to just kind of break even unless we get that 1 or 2, that little big move like we did with Costco, where we, made like $2,300 on a, $5,000 or $6,000 account. So we're looking for the big wins, but we don't see them very often. And sometimes we get the small wins, but we usually about 50-50 so far on the win-loss column. Will says my voice and music are good. All right, I appreciate that, Will. Yeah, I don't know what happened last week. Something went wrong with the audio, but it seems to be working fine. I've been on a few meetings. It seems to be working pretty good. Okay, next, Premier Level 5. This is basically one of my drawdowns. It's where I would put my money if I had like 30 grand. And so far, my record with trading this since April 8th of last year, 17 wins, 2 losses, and 5 break evens. We currently have 4 open positions, which basically means we're fully allocated. Now, last year, we did about 15% annualized with the largest drawdown of 4%, compared to the market, which was down 20% by the end of the year. So vastly outperformed. Now this year we're underperforming just a little bit. We're up 4.6%. The market's up 7.8%. So the buy and hold's doing a little better this year. But if you combine this year with last year, we're vastly outperforming. The Premier Level 5 vastly outperforms. Okay, let's get into, so you can see my P&L here. We started this account with $30,000 about a year ago. So it's, we're up around, I don't know what the number is off the top of my head, 18% or something like that, 17. It's rules based. So you're not gonna, there's no subjectivity to it. And also I'm coming up, there's a mastermind coming up where I'm going to actually teach you are trading on your own with a good, solid quantitative system that I developed, and I've been trading for almost 30 years now. And you can't get it anywhere else. It's not like some of these other guys on YouTube where you just go to another place, like maybe Tasty Trade, and you can get everything that they're trying to sell behind their paywall. You can get it for free. That's not what I offer here. What I have is unique and works really well. Okay, so it's safe wheel. Let's get to that. Okay, we're trading Uber. What happened last week? So I'm just coming in, really taking a look at this. Just look at it on Mondays and Fridays. So it looks like I have 200 shares, and I have a put hedge. So I really just have, looks like, two positions on, and I'm fully allocated with this. Also with this system here, I will not put on 300 shares. So the first question I have is the put hedge good? Is it solid? And there's two questions there. One, is the strike price close enough to the real price? So it's got to be within 70%. So 30.69, 30.69 times 0.7. So that's 21. So my put hedge needs to be 2150 or higher. You can see it's at 2750. So it's, it's close enough to give me protection. Then the next question I have is, how many days are left on this thing? Because if it's under 100, it's getting too weak, or not too weak as far as a hedge, but it has too much theta. So we're at 144. So the put hedge is good. So we know. Call. I think it was a $32 call because I owned 200 shares. I couldn't sell the $34 call because it wasn't worth anything. And I sold the $32 call, and Uber did not go beyond 32. I did not get assigned. And so I didn't get my shares taken away. So I still have my 200 shares. So I'm still looking to see if I can sell a call at $34 or better. And I'm also looking to sell a call at this price here, $31.50 or better. Let's see where I am. Or let's see where. So I want to do it in the expiration. Let's go to Uber. Okay, let me see here. Video went blur. Okay, so we're having some problems. Audio's cutting in and out again. Okay. Looks like we're having problems again with the audio. Audio cutting out. Just gone out 3 times. The video went blurry. Okay, so I'm gonna have to talk to my live stream company and let them know what's going on. Not sure why this is happening. Hopefully you can hear me now. Okay, good, you can. So I'm gonna go to here, the nearest expiration cycle, and I'm gonna see if I can collect any premium at the $34 level. That was my cost basis. And then at the $31.50 level, that was my cost basis. I've got 2 cost bases. So 34, obviously not. I want to get at least like 34 cents, and it's only 2 cents. So that's not going to work. Then we have my 31.50, where I can't even get 30 cents for it. I'm not going to sell it to 31 because, with a traditional wheel, if I get called away at 31, I'm going to take a 50-cent loss on the stock. So I'm not going to sell it that one. Now, I've kind of tweaked the rules just a little bit where I'm going to hold. We're kind of in that little bit of no man's land where there's not enough premium, but my hedge isn't necessarily making me a lot of money yet because it hasn't gone down far enough to kick in the hedge, but it's not up high enough to really get any premium that's any good. But I am going to go ahead and sell that $31.50. I'm going to take that premium. Normally at this time, I would go ahead and let me look at the rules here. So the stock is down. I own 200 shares, and can I sell a covered call? No. And is the position overall profitable? So at that point, I would look at the position and see if it's overall profitable. And as far as my numbers look like, it's not profitable overall. And so I am not going to get out of this position. I'm going to hold it, and I'm just going to collect the premium that I can get at the 31.50, because I want to tweak this just a little bit, and I want to hold it to see when we're going to come out of this range. Uh, what range am I talking about? Between like 28 and 30, between 28 and 31. I want to come out of this range. I want to hold this time and come out of the range. I don't want to start my trade over. So I might as well take a little bit of premium that I can get. So this is a little bit going off the rules just a little bit here, because I want to apply a new set of rules, but I want to do it live and I want to see how it works. So you can still abide by this. It'd be fine because I did all the back testing like that, but I want to kind of tweak it a little bit. I'm going to make that tweak today. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go against the rules a little bit. I'm going to sell premium that I can't collect. I mean, I'm not collecting enough per se. I should be collecting around $30 or $31, but I'm only going to get maybe $20, $22. But I'm okay with that because I want to, again, tweak the rules just a little bit here and see how that works out for me and kind of hold this position a little longer because I do have the hedge. So I want it to move further. Okay. Yeah, Will says, nice to see that new rule. Yeah, let's see what happens with this. So I'm going to sell here. We'll see over time. You know, that's another thing about quantitative trading is sometimes you trade this. Yes. And so now I'm going to buy something around $5, $6, the 32.50. This will protect my put hedge. It'll protect the hedge. As much premium as we normally get for the week. But again, I want to see the stock move out of this range. If it stays in this range for a long period of time, it's gonna hurt the position because the put hedge is going to slowly depreciate. But I'm willing to take that risk. That's the risk that I'm taking here. Okay, let me make sure I got over everything. Oh, also, if you're interested in the safe wheel guidelines and how I pick the right stock for this, that's available. There's a link in the description. It's under $100. It's a good system, or you can just watch what I do and you can learn it for free. Also, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Carl Dom. And I want to mention again the mastermind that I have for the Premier Level 5. That's really the high level. The thing about the Premier Level 5 is it's a quantitative system that has low drawdowns and it's non-directional. So it's a solid system, and I have there'll be a link in the description for the mastermind for that. And don't forget to hit that notification bell, hit the like button, notification bell. It really helps the channel grow. It helps other people see what's going on. Somebody that actually shares their real P&L and is not front running anyone. So that is a good thing. I think that you're only going to see a credible instructor when you can see their P&L on a consistent basis. Some instructors might show their P&L for a short gap time periods, but they won't show it consistently over time. And I believe, as my research has indicated, it's because they don't make money trading. Or if they do make money, the volatility of their account is super high. Like they could be down 15% in one day. People don't want to see that. Right. And, people can make money in certain market environments. Some people are making money in this year. If you're trading the wheel without the hedge this year, you're probably making some pretty good money. But if you trade the wheel without the hedge in 2020, you got annihilated. I mean, so it just some trades work, but they don't work all the time. But you want to get into a quantitative system that's rules based that does work in all market environments. That's kind of the goal, or that's my goal. And that's why I'm willing to share my P&L, because I have solid systems that work in all environments. Okay, so let me get into the comments, see if there's any questions or anything. Good luck with the audio today. Yeah. So, so there were some issues here. I'm reading through. Music never went out. Okay, so wow, I can't believe this thing is doing this. Maybe I need to restart my computer or something, or my microphone. I'm not sure. Okay, so the music's never cut out. Okay, well, nice. Glad to got to see this new rule in effect. It's the first time. Yeah, it is. It's the first time I've applied this rule, and we're gonna see. Earnings coming up next week. Is that for Uber? Let's see here. Five two. Okay, so 7 days or so. Yeah, it looks like could be next week. Yeah. Okay, well that has an effect. Probably on Monday I'm gonna get really good premium. Coming up. That's kind of the opposite of the normal wheel trader, right? They don't want earnings to come up. Um, the rule says to start over. So is this a new step? Yeah. It looks like I am going to apply this new step, but I'm going to see how it goes. I'm not 100% convinced that this is the way to go. Um, we're just going to find out. I feel like after trading this for a year, that this particular rule could have been tweaked during the back test, and I'm going to play it out live. David, I miss earnings edge, but how did Tesla? Okay, so Tesla, Netflix wasn't. I didn't trade Netflix, but I did trade Tesla, and I was down $550. I think it was last week. So Tesla didn't move. I put on a straddle, but I put it on at a discount. But Tesla didn't move enough to bring me into a profit situation, basically. No trade fit filters for the edge. Yeah, weird, because normally they do, because there's a lot of good stocks with that fit through the initial filters, all the filters but one. There's this one special filter that I used, and none of them fit through it. I think that's probably the first time that's ever happened. When right in the middle of earnings season, that I wasn't able to um, get the stocks to fit through that single filter. Will, not sure I like this tweet in the rule so much, but only because our downward projection isn't great. Maybe if our second set of stocks wasn't bought low enough. Yeah, okay. So basically getting assigned at 31.50, you're saying, well, maybe if we got assigned at $30, it would have been better. It's true. But that's just kind of how it played out, I guess. So the stock didn't move down low enough to where when we placed when we sold that put, the stock was pretty high, pretty closer to $34. And if it was lower, yeah, we would have been better off. So it's kind of like this perfect storm, which is fine. Perfect storms occur, and we'll see how it plays out. Maybe if you're closer to the 3 put hedge, yeah, absolutely, sure. if the stock's going to drop, let's go down there and get to that put hedge. Int account. Is it really necessary to buy the call to protect the hedge puts when you have 200 shares and one covered call? Yeah, we had this discussion I think a couple weeks ago, and there definitely is a point to that, and you make a really strong point there. But the way that I look at it is the way this system makes money is when we get into these scenarios and then we get called away from our shares. And that's kind of where the big outlier profit occurs. And I don't have a problem, spending $5 when I'm trying to make maybe $200 or $300 if we get that big outlier move. So I'll just stick to the rules. You could definitely, if you're trading this and you feel like you don't need to spend that extra $5, I wouldn't be opposed to that. Like, that's not a bad idea at all. Like, it totally makes sense. I'm just going to keep to the rule the way that I back tested it. I know that's a little contradictory considering I'm changing the rules a little bit. I have your 2060. This is Jerry. I have your 2660 system. I've been trading it. How did it backtest in the past? What I'll do, how about if you ask me that question in the comments? I have to send them to you. And I'll try to put them in. Actually, when you got into the 2060, when you initially signed up, there was a video there that you watch on the sales page, and that video shows the back tests. So you could find it there, or just shoot me a message in the comment section, and I'll send a link that to you. I think you mentioned that the 2060 system return average about 10%. Yeah, that's how it did through the back test. But once we got into around 2020, around 2020, it hasn't shown those kind of returns. It's a little bit lower than that, and it has to do with the back end being spread 50 wide. So you might want to take that to 75 wide or 100 points wide. So that width is what's kind of slowing down this trade because it has to do with kind of what I call inflation. So like when the SPX is actually higher, it's around 4,000. Well, back when I was doing those back tests, it was around, maybe 2,000 or 2,500. So that's kind of a significant difference. So that system, it's a good system, and really it's more of a learning tool. I wouldn't really rely on it as a tool to make, to think you're going to make money. You're not going to lose money, really. I mean, you could lose a little bit, you could make a little bit, but it's more of a learning tool of how to trade a quantitative system. Get your mind around how quantitative options trading systems work. That's really what the 2060 is designed to do. Walter, 3 likes, seriously? I can't see how many likes I'm getting right now. I don't see that. I'm probably just not experienced enough to know, but yeah, I'd appreciate more likes. That really would help out the channel. I think there's a lot of people out there that are interested in someone that actually shares their P&L. When I first started this channel, I could not believe that there was nobody sharing their P&L. I'm like, how are you guys selling how to trade without sharing your P&L? Like, it just didn't make sense to me. So I think there's a lot of people out there that want to find this, but they're not finding it. And it has to do with the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. And maybe me, that I don't have this flamboyant, personality, and that's just not my strength. My strength is trading. So if people that want to find somebody where their strength is trading, not entertaining, let's get them over here. So the likes is really how that's going to happen. I appreciate that, Walter. Will, my tweak to this tweaked rule would be to only hold if the 3-put hedge was 10% away. So okay, so 10% away would be about $3 away, which it is. So all right, it's because we're trading Uber and it's around 30. So 10% of that's $3. And $3 would be 27. And we're at 27.50. So I guess we would abide by your rule. And that makes sense. I mean, if the put hedge is too far away. But I think the way the system's set up, I don't think you're going to be, once you're down to these levels of owning 200 shares, you're probably going to be within 10%. So it kind of works out that way. Carl, sending you a thread on Twitter about a guy that shows his P&L, and he has an interesting trading system he's been doing for the last 3 weeks. Yeah, I'd love to check it out. There's another guy that shares his P&L. His name is Sweet Bobby. You know, there's another guy I'm trying to remember his name, that he is sharing his P&L on a weekly basis. So I don't know if that's because of me, but I would like to think that it kind of is, that I'm actually changing the industry where there's actually people sharing their P&L that weren't before, that I've found now recently. And I would hope and I think that that's because of what I'm doing, because both of those people that share their P&L, they knew about me. And I actually asked one of them to start sharing his P&L, and he has. So, let's get everybody doing this. And if my channel grows, that's going to help me get the word out, and it's going to have other instructors and force them to share their P&L. So that's my goal. Yeah, that thread on Twitter, I look forward to that. Let's get more people out there sharing their P&L. Will, are you posting the link on Carl's Twitter? And he said yes. So okay, you guys come over to my Twitter. You guys can get access to this stuff. You don't think the system's great, but he's using a bot. And well, if he's using a bot, it sounds like it's a quantitative type system. It'll be interesting to take a look at it. You said 3 weeks, so 3 weeks is not a very long time. There are some people that go out, they start sharing their P&L for a little while, and then all of a sudden their account gets blown out and they stop sharing their P&L. I've seen that happen. I can't remember exactly who or when, but I recall that happening. Okay, so I don't see any more questions or comments. So I'm going to go ahead and wind this thing down. And one thing I always like to say at the end of my live streams is, if the P&L is not real, what else are they trying to conceal? Okay, I'm going to end the broadcast. We'll see you guys next week. I appreciate everyone.